everybody, it's Gypsy Wolf. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't know if any of you saw my last video, but it was a spell to protect children. And you couldn't really see in the video what I was doing. I was showing it for a client so they could see what I did. So I thought it would be nice to show you guys exactly what I did so you can perform it yourself at home. You can do it for up to as many children as you would like, I mean, within reason. You know, say you have one child or you have four, you know, or even 6 or 7. You can do it for up to as many children as you're protecting. I do really quickly want to show you what the end result will look like. In a way, let's see if we can see that. Okay, I'm going to put this aside for right now. And I'm going to tell you what you need for this spell. And you don't have to use this for only children, but I did gear it towards that, okay? And it can be used for any type of protection. You know, there are so many bad things out in the world, so use it however you would like. All right, so what you will need for the spell: a pen, very simple. The herbs that you're going to need, now I chose these because they grow in my own garden and they felt right to me. I have a small sprig of lemon balm, a tiny sprig of rosemary, and a tiny sprig of lavender. I prefer using fresh if I can, but they're already almost dried because I picked them this morning. If you don't have sprigs, do not stress about it. Just, you know, you can use the herbs that you have, and I'll show you how, okay? You will need a blank piece of paper. I used parchment in my spell. You can use basic white or brown paper bag. No lines or anything like that, and no machine cut edges, okay? Next, you are going to need a white carnation for each child that you are representing, okay? So if you're doing this for one child, 1. If you're doing it for 4, 4, okay? Get my drift? You're going to need some white ribbon if you have it. If you don't have white, you can use just regular natural twine. That's okay. A lighter. A pair of scissors, most likely, you know, to cut your ribbon unless you want to use a knife. And then some type of little baggie, and I'll show you why at the end. I'm just using this little white sachet bag. And then the extras. I worked with guardian angels in my spell when I was doing the spell for these children. And so I like to use the guardian angel candle. This is always on my altar. So I lit that. I also lit my St. Michael candle because I work with him a lot. And this candle of mine just represents my ancestors. Now, if you can't get your hands on the guardian angel candle, but you can find this at Walmart for like $1. So go the extra mile if you're trying to protect your kid, right? But if you can't find that, just a regular white candle will do just fine. Just something a little bit larger that really calls in that angelic energy, okay? Am I missing anything? Oh, and I'm going to light this dragon's blood incense. Whatever incense you feel is protective, you're going to want to light. So you'll need matches or a lighter, obviously, to light your candles. And it's optional. If you can't see it over here, I'll show you. Here we go. I have a black candle that I always use to absorb negative energy. If you have something like that, you might want to light it at this time. So what you will do is light your incense and light either your guardian angel candle or your white candle, whichever one you have, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, and also you are going to need some type of little box. It does not matter what kind. It can be a large one, it's like a shoe box. It can be, you know, a small little decorative box like this one that I have, or you could use a plate. Just a working surface that is fairly neutral, okay? That is either white or has flowers or something like that, all right? And we'll go into why. All right, so like I said, you're gonna start your incense, light your angel candle, and then you're gonna take your paper and your pen. You're going to write down the child's name. So we're going to make one up, obviously, because I already did this spell. So we'll say Jane Doe Smith, and you're going to need the birth date as well. So we will say that her birthday is 11/11/2011. Just like that, okay? All right, next what you're going to want to do, now keep in mind, as you're doing this, I want you to focus on this child. Focus on calling in their angels. You can even do that. Say whatever chants that you would like. Focus on enveloping them with love and protection. Now, I like to think of myself as like this guardian mother, right? With 2 kids under my arms, and there are people coming to bang the doors down with guns and all that, and I'm there protecting them, and I've got them, and nothing is going to happen to them. That's the energy that you need for this spell. I did also call on Yamya. If you're familiar with her, she is an Orisha that is the protector of mothers and children. So, and I work with her anyway. So, yeah, there we go. You can. Or if you have any other god or goddess you like to work with, feel free to call on them. So if you don't work with angels, you can just work with your god or goddess, or none of it, whatever you want to do. This is pretty haphazard, guys. Okay, so next, you're going to want to take your herbs and place them, you can see, on top of this little piece of paper. Next, you're going to take a bit of ribbon. Okay, just enough that you can kind of wrap around a few times this paper. So, with protection, we want to bring it in towards us. So I'm going to wrap the herbs in this piece of paper. So then if you only have loose, you'll just put it, a few little pieces inside this paper, okay? And you're just going to roll it towards yourself. And then we're going to take a ribbon or twine. Okay? It's very easy, guys. But your intention is everything in this spell. It is everything. If you are watching this, I want you to go back at my previous video and watch. You're not going to be able to see much of what I'm doing, but watch the energy I put out in the spell I'm doing so you can hear the chants and maybe get some ideas, see what I'm doing so you can understand a little bit better if you're a newbie, okay? So we're going to take the white ribbon and wrap it around as many times as you want. It does not matter. Don't ask me how many times should I wrap the ribbon around. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. But we are going to make 3 knots. So, after we've wrapped the ribbon, we are going to make our first knot. Say by knot of 1, the spell has begun. Make our second knot. By knot of 2, I bind this protection onto you. Okay, and we're making our third knot. By knot of 3, so mote it be. See, isn't that pretty? Kind of looks like a little mini bouquet. All right, so carnations are heavily used in hoodoo for protection, but you could also use white roses if you've ever heard the term a bed of roses. That's kind of where I got the idea for flower petals. So, say this is the box we are using. We're going to take the flower petals and just place them down very simply. Make a little bed of these flower petals. There's no right or wrong way. And you're going to place this little packet on top. Now, once you have done this, this is your time to visualize. Call on the angels, your angels, the child's angels, whatever deities that you're working with, and visualize the protection being placed around them. Once you are finished and you stop for the evening, you're going to leave this on your working altar or space if you can. If you can't, just put it somewhere that it won't be disturbed until the next evening. The next evening, if you choose, but I think it's a good idea. I don't have my salt handy with me right now, but what I did the next 2 evenings, I lit the candles again, the incense again, and I sprinkled salt all around this, chanting, I protect, and I used the child's name. I protect so-and-so. I protect so-and-so. I protect so-and-so. And say things like, my guardian angel protects so-and-so. Let all the guardian angels protect so-and-so. All right, and you only have to do that for a few minutes so you feel it's right. Okay, so do that. Do this, the salt the next night, salt a third night. Then it is done. At least the work itself. Okay, so once that is completed, all right, like I said, this is what you're going to have. That's what it's going to look like. Your flower petals, carnations, are going to look dry, or they will be dry, should I say. And you're going to take your little bag. Like, the material doesn't matter, but if you can get white, or a natural fiber, that's really good. And you're going to place all the spell remnants into the bag. And there's a reason for this. When you want to keep something, such as protection, money, luck, it's usually good to bury the spell remains, like this, in your front yard, if that is possible. If you do not have a front yard, go find a crossroads, or like a really pretty tree, or a flower plant, or whatever, and this baggie will be buried there. But like I said, if you can bury it, if you have a front yard, bury it in your front yard. If not, a crossroads. If that's not possible, then like a beautiful tree or plant, flower, something that's blooming and just looks vibrant and healthy. And that's it. That's the end of the spell, guys, okay? If you have any questions, please feel free. This was a bit, like I said, haphazard, but I already did the spell, and I knew that you guys couldn't see what I was doing in the video, and wanted to show you exactly what I did, so you can do it on your own. And let me know how it goes, guys. All right? Thanks so much for joining me again. My name is Gypsy Wolf. And if you are not already subscribed to my channel, I would encourage you to join us if you are into learning about witchcraft. And for all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for joining me yet again. And I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.